SBR Videos is sponsored by Sports Cash System. Click on the link below for more information. I'm Peter Loshak, and we are previewing Week 3 in the NFL right now, and we are talking with Troy West from allplayswin.com. Troy West went 2-1 against the spread in the videos with us last week. Troy, thanks for being back with us this week.
Thanks a lot, Peter. I appreciate it. As I said earlier, we're real happy to get away with a 2-1 week and a winning week. Pat our head on the shoulder and move forward. Another big week here. I'm excited to be back on the show.
All right. San Diego at Tennessee is the game we're going to talk about now. Tennessee is a 3-point home favorite. That line is down a bit from 3.5. Total is 44. That's up a bit from 43.5. Both these teams, had good covers last week. Tennessee took Houston to overtime as a huge road underdog, and the Chargers also as a huge road underdog, upset the Eagles, getting an outright win. I'm looking at this game, Tennessee, they had kind of an inconsistent offense. At times, they were very productive. Other times, they completely stalled. Not a surprise with Jake Locker anchoring the whole thing. Chargers upset the Eagles, but that's sort of, the Eagles are sort of a special case this year. If a team does well against them, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to have the same kind of effectiveness against other kinds of teams. I'm looking at this. I'm thinking San Diego's in a bit of a tough spot here, getting a road win outright on the East Coast against a team like Philadelphia. Now they come back again to the East Coast, getting only 3 points. But then again, Tennessee, you really want to bet Jake Locker as a favorite? I'm not exactly sure. Not exactly sure at this point what I think about these lines. What do you think, Troy West?
I really like Tennessee in this ball game. As you said, Peter, you go to Philadelphia, you get a kind of an emotional win on the road. Now you got to fly back to San Diego, gather yourself, and go play in a really tough Tennessee crowd who hasn't had a home game yet. Tennessee's been the biggest surprise to me in the NFL so far. They go into Pittsburgh, they handle Pittsburgh. I know Pittsburgh's down this year, but a win at Pittsburgh is a win at Pittsburgh. Then they go into Houston. They had that game. If it weren't for a few miracle catches and an unbelievable drive and a 2-point conversion, Tennessee wins that game in regulation, and people are really talking about them. So I think they're 2-0. People would really be speaking on the Tennessee Titans. Now they get to go home and play in front of their crowd. I think this is a tough spot for Phillip Rivers to get 2 wins in a row. I like Tennessee to give a steady diet to Chris Johnson. I like their defense to play really well at home. I think Phillip Rivers will have a real tough time moving the ball in that environment against a really tough defense. I like Tennessee -3 in this one, Pete.
I hear you. All the points you're making, I agree with. The only thing that just makes me pause is betting on Jake Locker as a favorite. It just makes me nervous. What do you have to say about that?
Hey, Jake Locker is my boy from Washington out here, Pete, so I got to roll with him. He's playing better right now. He's doing it with his arm, not his feet. He can go to his feet if he needs to. Don't quote me on this, but I don't think he's thrown an interception all year yet. I'm pretty sure he hasn't. He's playing a lot better football. He's playing within himself. He's not trying to do too much, which he normally has to. He hasn't had to do too much yet. They're scoring points right now. They scored points against a pretty good Houston defense, at least on paper. They had their way with them, I thought. And I think they're going to have a good game here at home, and I'm going to roll with Tennessee to win this one.
I hear you. No, last game he didn't throw an interception, but he also missed, a key pass to Kenny Britt that would have sealed the win in regulation. That's not a surprise when Locker does something like that. It just makes me nervous. I'm sure this is going to be a close game, but do you really want to be giving 3 points? San Diego could take the win at the end. It could be a 1 or 2 point game. You're not worried, though?
I'm not worried. I think Tennessee's going to pull this one out. I think they're going to get this one by a touchdown. I think they're going to be in control. I just think with that environment that San Diego's going into, I know it is similar to Philadelphia, but to do it 2 weeks in a row, I don't think Phillip Rivers has that kind of magic in him. I think they really are going to struggle to move the football against this Tennessee defense that I thought looked pretty darn good for the most part against Houston and looked very good against Pittsburgh. Now they get to do it in front of their home crowd. I got to go with Tennessee.
So Troy West likes Tennessee -3. Thanks, Troy.